See, and this one ready, so I can do this now.
Recording in progress. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good day. Welcome to Deep Dive. And today is Tuesday, July 30th, 2024. We are honored and blessed to be here with you in our Unpassive webinar. And we thank you for joining us. And we're starting our webinar with a wonderful signature tune, In It to Win It, by one of our global ambassadors, Sister Larato Shadare. And I'll call on each and everyone who is here live or virtual on Zoom to pay special attention to the nonverbal communication which was provided to us by Dr. Derek Clark. And we're going to call on him to play In It to Win It by Larato Shadare. Thank you very much, and over to you, Dr. Derek. We are here, beyond all the past, shining bright into the future. We rise high with one revolution, lifting up humanity as we rise, standing tall, happy. We are the unicorns. We are the shining light. We're a nation, we're rising with one hope, bringing solution, lifting up humanity. Let's rise up and standing tall, hand in hand. We are united. We are the stars. Your next stop is unpassive.
Stand clear of the closing doors, please.
Wow. Wow. We definitely are in it to win it. Stand clear the closing doors, please. That was at our unpassive station at the Dubai train station. And we know that we do own that, right? That's the unpassive station. And we see some of our global ambassadors there. And who was able to put that together? Dr. Derek. Not just that image, but we saw some of the webinars that we held here with our dream teams and the other teams that we have webinars together. He puts all of that together to show us how OConnect works and uh, uh, all the other oh my goodness, all the other things that OnPassive has to share with each and every one of us. That is what I could see there. We have so many products. So All Connect is there, and we use that for the video conferencing, which we could see all the things that people were doing. Thank you, Dr. Derek. We really appreciate you. Not just you alone. Oh my goodness. Was I talking muted? I did not mute myself. Anyway, not just thanking you, Dr. Derek, but also our sister, Queen Lerato Shadare, for the beautiful uh, music that accompanied the visual aspects of it. So we're moving to the next segment of our webinar, which is the mindset. And our mindset speaker for today is someone we know very well. Her name is Dr. T, a wonderful international transformational speaker. And she is also a life coach, an empowerment trainer, and she also has been a talk show and is a talk show host. And she has published 4 books. If you're interested in any of them, you know how to find them. But besides that, she's also the editor and chief of Discovering You magazine. She works together with Dr. Tony. So if you need anything you need to know anything about Dr. T, the right way to go about it, especially during the webinar, is just put it in the chat, anything you need, and Queen Tony will make sure she shares that information with you regarding Dr. T's all the things that she does to help each and every one of us. So today, Dr. T is going to talk to us about, as you can see her smiling, about the mindset which our wonderful CEO has promised to give us the physical that we are going to be reaping very soon, but she's going to provide us with the mental. And the mindset is about the traits of successful entrepreneurs. And I will let Dr. T do what she does best, because she's the one and only who can talk to us about this in so many words and so many layers of it. So, Dr. T, do your thing. Thank you very much for sharing your time with us tonight, as always.
Thank you. I was going to allow King Carlton to speak tonight, but he bailed out on me. Okay? So this will be the last time, Carlton. When I call on you again, be ready. That's our little joke between us. Thank you. But anyway, thank you all. I'm so pleased to just be in the house tonight with all of you wonderful, phenomenal brand ambassadors. And I am just honored to bring this message to you all tonight because I am an entrepreneur. And guess what? All of you are entrepreneurs. As soon as you signed your name and became an Paspian, you became entrepreneurs. And I'd like to give you traits. But first of all, I want you to understand there's a mindset that you must have in place in order to be successful. During the pandemic, all of you are aware that many successful, so-called successful businesses closed for whatever reason. Maybe it was a lack of customers, it may have been a lack of management, it may have been due to illness, whatever it was, but you all know there were businesses that had been in business for maybe a century or so, seriously, and they closed. And that was very sad. In fact, when they closed, they made a great impact on the economy. But just as those businesses closed, many other businesses rose up. Small businesses, possibly. Maybe even some new corporations, wherever they may have been, but they came to surface. So let's look at why is it that some businesses closed that have been around for a long time, and why others were able to rise up and they're still surviving and they're still thriving. The main reason why many businesses are successful is not because, like Queen Antoinette talked us last week, it's not just having a good business plan. That's good. You want to have that in place. But that's not all you need. This platform emphasizes over and over again the importance of having the right mindset. So I'm going to share with all of you tonight 12 mindset traits of successful entrepreneurs. But for the sake of time, because we have another speaker, I'm going to only give you 6 that I want you to digest. And then the next time I'll give you the other 6. But I'm going to teach you 12 mindset traits of successful entrepreneurs. And when you ingest these particular traits and incorporate them into your lives, you'll be well on your way to understanding why some businesses failed and why some are still here and still thriving. See, it's not about just having a good business plan. It's not about just having good management or having certain skills. It's about up here renewing your mind. Because that's where it starts. Business, anything you do that's going to have an impact starts right here in the mind and in the heart. And when those two gel and become on one accord, then you can become successful. So we're going to talk about what it means to be a successful entrepreneur by looking at the 12 mindsets, but today it's 6 of them. 6 mindset traits that you should all have. The first one I want to share with you all today, which is something that you hear all the time, but I want to re-emphasize this. The first one is the ability to maintain a positive and keyword, maintain. Because evidently, if you started a business, you went into the business with a positive attitude, because you would not have been able to start a business if you didn't have a positive attitude. But the key word is to maintain it. Because trials and tribulations will come. You will have your ups and downs. There'll be times when you want to just throw in the towel. There'll be times when people tell you cannot be done. The economy might be affecting your business. Maybe it might be sickness may be affecting your business. Maybe other people, naysayers, who may be affecting your business. But whatever it is, you have to have a positive mindset. Don't allow people or things to dictate what your attitude is going to be. Remember that when you start a business, you go in with a vision. You go in to thrive and to succeed. You don't go in there with an attitude of losing. You come in with an attitude to win. But the key again is to maintain that attitude. So the first mindset trait, again, is the ability to maintain a positive attitude. You've heard about Thomas Edison. We always talk about that. He had 10,000 tries before he got it right. But he didn't say that he failed 9,999. He said there was this 9,999 that just didn't work. But he kept going. And that's what you have to do. In order for you to continue to thrive in this business, you have to have a positive mindset. And I can't think of anybody besides our CEO who has demonstrated that he is truly a pioneer of having a positive mindset. As long as you don't quit, you'll win. As long as you don't throw in the towel, you will win. Stay in the game and you will win. So again, the number one trait to be a successful entrepreneur is having the ability to maintain, keyword, maintain a positive attitude. Number two, the second one, openness to anything. Be open to anything. Going with the flow. Running a business is unpredictable. It's just like life. It's just like life. You have to be prepared for what's to come. Even if you think certain situations will never happen, you still have to put things in place so that you won't fail. Because that is so important. So that's why you need to be open to anything. You need to be able to adapt to changing environments and in business. I'm going to give you an example. When we first started our Step Up program in 2018, it was an on-site program for our youth. We had a chance to rent out a local library here in Michigan, Southgate, Michigan. And it was a beautiful facility. It still was a very beautiful facility. And everybody who came to the program, our youth, they were all on site. They were on site. We used to have like 20, almost 30 students that enrolled. But when the pandemic hit, of course, there was no social. You could not socialize. You had to be so much distance. We had to be distance, okay? So what we did, we said we don't want to stop the Step Up program. So we had to adapt. We had to change gears. We had to go in another direction. But we still wanted to make sure that our youth were taught entrepreneurial skills. So what did we do? We went on Zoom. We went on Zoom. And that was a year, I'm pretty sure that year, during the pandemic, if nobody else did well in business, Zoom did well in business. Zoom did well in business. And at that time, Mr. Ashman Farrell was just putting his stuff in place, putting things in order so that he could also become that unicorn business that we have right now. So he was working behind the scenes. But Zoom, because people did not want to become ill and they had to practice social distancing, Zoom came on the rise. And so we also use Zoom. So we learned to adapt. We could have just thrown in the towels, okay, we can't get the kids together, we can't do it on site, so we'll just let it go. So what did we do? We learned to adapt. We learned to just put something different in place and we thrived. That particular year, when we had the pandemic, I believe we had probably close to 10 or 15 students that enrolled. It was not a high enrollment, but we still had a class. We still taught our kids for 10 weeks, and we still graduated some phenomenal youth. You have to change your strategy. You have to change your mindset. You do not want to give up. That's why you have to be open to anything. So whatever you have to do to stay in business, whatever you have to do to be successful, you need to have that mindset that you're going to do that. Never give up. Be open to anything. That's number two. Remember, talk about a mindset. Your mindset is to be open to anything. Be willing to change. Be willing to go with the flow. Whatever you need to do to maintain that momentum, put those things in place and don't give up. That's number two. Number three, having the curiosity of a child. Having the curiosity of a child. Think about children when they embark on doing something. They're curious. They're fearless. They like challenges. Have you ever seen a child, especially if it's something mechanical, Have you ever seen a child take things apart and then try to put it back together again? Now, it may not look exactly how it looked when they took it apart, but they make an effort to put it back together again, and they feel good about that accomplishment. That's the same type of mentality that we have to have as entrepreneurs. You have to have that curiosity as a child and keep it simplistic. When you think about the different things that your business may go through, the different challenges, and the different directions they may go to, understand, think like a child. Say, hey, I can do this. Children have that what if mentality. What if I go this way? Or what if I take this part out? Or what if I add this piece to it? It's the same thing with your business. With your business, when you have that curiosity as a child, you may have to take something out. Maybe that's not working for you right now. Or you may have to add a component to it so that it will work. When you maintain that simplicity and have that open mindedness and have that curiosity as a child, then you will thrive. Then you will become successful and maintain that momentum in being an entrepreneur. So that's number three, having the curiosity of a child. Number four, number four, persuasion comes naturally for you. Now that's the art of persuasion. In order to be a successful entrepreneur, you have to have the gift of persuasion. What does that mean? Getting people to do the things that they need to do. They may know they need to do it. That's persuasion. You have to convince people that they need your services, that they need your product, that they need to grab hold of your mission because you are going to make a difference. And when you can convince them to get on board with what you're doing, you are operating in the count of persuasion. You are an influence. You're an influencer. Every day I see on the rise, especially on YouTube, people they call themselves influencers. They give you information, they're telling you different things, and they're causing you to become engaged. When you are a person who is persuasive, in order for you to get people engaged, you have to have a particular talent, and that's being a good communicator. You must be a good communicator if you're going to have the art, if you're going to operate in the art of persuasion. You must be a good communicator. You also must be a good listener. If you're going to cause people to change and to come your way, you need to understand what are their needs. Be a good listener. Find out where they are. Find out what they need. You don't want to persuade people to do something that's not good for them. You want to persuade them to do something that they need, that's good for them. That's a good persuader. That's a person who operates in that gift. And thirdly, you want to be empathetic. You want to be a person that shows that you care. When you let people know that you empathize with what they're going through, you can have them do anything. I know someone who used to always say, when a person likes you, they'll do anything. They'll buy anything from you. They'll walk with you. They'll strive with you if they like you. And mostly when you think about your life, you think about our CEO, Mr. Ashton Farrar, all of us, for the most part, we like him. I can even dare to say we love him. That's why we're staying. That's why we're in the trenches with him. This is why we want to go the long haul. We want to go all the way. Because he has the ability to persuade us that he is going to be successful and he's going to make us successful. So Mr. Ashman Farrell, he has that trait. And this is the reason why he is a successful entrepreneur. He has good communication skills. He's a good listener. He's listening to what we want. He hears us. He's not out there doing his own thing. He's listening. Every time we have these webinars, I'm pretty sure that in his spare time, he may go on YouTube or whatever he may do to listen to it. Okay, they need that. Okay, they're saying that. They're not happy with this, or they're happy with that. Oh, they love that. Okay, that's working well. Remember when we started using the different products? He wanted us to use the products free for a while because he wanted to find out, is it working? What do we need to change? What do we need to improve on? How do we need to make it come up higher? Because we want the public to also like this too. So this all being a part of a persuasive person by listening, by being empathetic, and also being a communicator. So when you put those three things in place, that means they're going to like you, and you're going to be able to operate effectively in the art of persuasion. So number four trait for being a successful entrepreneur is persuasion comes naturally for you. And that's a gift. That's a gift. Number 5, you're creative. I have not met anyone yet who's not creative. So if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, that means that you have to be creative. One of the things we teach our youth and our adults when we do our Step Up program, what makes your business stand apart? What makes your business stand out above the rest? What are you doing differently that someone else is not doing? They have all kind of hair salons. They have all kind of AI businesses out there. What makes yours stand out? Skincare. Why is yours different? Why should I buy your product rather than to buy somebody else's product? Why should I use your services rather than use somebody else's services? You have to learn to be creative if you're going to stay in the game, if you're going to maintain that momentum, if you're going to be able to operate in the other traits that I just shared with you. You have to be able to be creative. Remember that some of the most successful entrepreneurs, they even have more than one product. Look at us. Look at On Passive. We started off with a webinar platform, okay? O Connect, our first product. But look at all the products that we have right now. That makes us stand above the rest. With Zoom, Zoom only has the one platform. What, the webinar platform. It may have different components of it, different levels, but for the most part, they only have that one product. We have many, not just several. We have many. And that's what makes us stand out above the rest. So if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, you've got to learn to be creative. With our business, Your Own Uniqueness Incorporated, when I started this business in the early, and I think it was the year 2000, I started the nonprofit in 2000. And when I started doing this nonprofit, only thing we did women's conferences. That's the only thing we did. We just did women's conferences. Now, in 2024, evolving and being creative, we have membership. We have membership for our organization. That's how, in other words, we bring in monies because we have people to become members of the organization. We have our magazine. Most of you are familiar. Those of you subscribe. We have an online magazine, Discovering You magazine. We have a bi-weekly empowerment event called Transformation Saturday. Every 2 weeks, I bring on speakers. If I'm not speaking, somebody else is speaking. That's like we're doing right now. And we talk about everything from health and wellness to spirituality. Things that will empower women to be the best, to become the best version of themselves. We also have the entrepreneur training program, Step Up, not only for the youth, but also for the adults. We have products, we have books, we have inspirational mugs, okay? And we also we have an outreach arm where we go to homeless shelters and feed the hungry. These are all components of your own uniqueness. This is all part of the creativity. Remember, I just started off doing seminars and conferences. Now we have several arms that pertain to your own uniqueness. So if you're going to be a successful entrepreneur, your mindset has to tell you, I must be creative. That might mean having more than one product. That might mean changing directions. That might be making your product or services unique so that you will not be competing with anybody else. You'll be in your own lane and everybody will come to you for a particular service. All right. So again, number 5. Number 5, if you want to be a successful entrepreneur, having a mindset of a successful entrepreneur, you must be creative. And the last one that I want to share with you all tonight, number 6, you're motivated. You're motivated. You're driven. You are self-driven. You are going to be in the trenches if it means being it all by yourself. No one has to make you get up in the morning and do what you do best. And I can't think of anyone. Again, I'm always referring back to our CEO because I believe that he is the epitome of everything I just taught. And I'm not just saying that to be saying that. I mean that from the heart. The 5 that I've already shared with you, the 5 traits that I've already shared with you are exemplified in Mr. Ashby Farr. Everything I just taught you, okay? Having the ability to maintain a positive attitude, being open to anything, having the curiosity of a child, being able to maneuver, having the art of persuasion, and being creative. He has those things. So then the last thing I want to share with you tonight, he is motivated. He is being highly driven. He's a highly driven man. Always, Queen DrBenny always reminds us. He always says, "I'm going to either do or die." That's a person who's driven. He said, I don't care what happens. I'm going to my grave with this one. I'm going to do it or I'm going to die. I'm going to do it. And that's the kind of mindset you have to have if you are going to be a successful entrepreneur. Because you know when you get up in the morning, you should know that you have a calling on your life. I don't care what's going on in your personal life. It doesn't matter what's going on with your finances and relationships. When you know that you're called, that is what should drive you. That is the very thing that should motivate you to do things that you normally would not do. And yes, there's going to be some hurts. There's going to be some pain. Even the word of God promises us you're going to have trials and tribulations. But guess what? What did he say? I'm going to deliver you. I'm going to bring you from all of those things, but just stay in the game. Don't give up. Be self-motivated. Encourage yourself. Begin to have positive affirmations. Read scriptures. Get around positive thinking people. Get yourself a group of people that are going to surround you, that are going to celebrate you. And they're out there. There are going to be people who are going to be rooting for you. But you should be the person that roots the most for yourself. Root for yourself. Take the blindness off your eyes and be able to see things the way they really are. And in the end, you know you win. You've got to be self-motivated. Because if you don't show the world that it means something to you, whatever you're doing, it's not going to mean anything to them. You're your best customer. You're your best fan. And when you say rah rah for yourself, everybody else will say rah rah. The Word of God tells us to write our vision down on a tablet. People will read it and they'll run with it. But you got to be the head runner. You got to be leading it. You should be in the back. Everybody's right ahead of you and you're the back. No, you got to be leading. That's a person that's driven. That's a person that understands that I was born to make a difference. I was born to make an impact in this world. And when you have that mindset, when you're motivated and when you're driven, you are on your way to being a successful entrepreneur. You are on your way to becoming a successful person in every area of your life. Entrepreneurship is just one area. But I tell you, the Word of God tells us. And first of all, he said, what did he say? He said, I've come to give you life. And that more abundantly. The enemy, he comes to steal, to kill, and destroy. But he said, I've come to give you life and give it to you more abundantly. And when you take on the challenge, and it is a challenge to become an entrepreneur, you're in a battle. The enemy is not going to just give it to you. And this is the reason why you have to have a certain mindset so that you can stay, so that you have that staying power. Everything I just shared with you, the ability to maintain a positive attitude, openness to anything, having the curiosity of a child, being persuasive in nature, and being creative. And the last one, being motivated and being self-driven. When you exercise in those particular areas, you are well on your way to becoming a successful entrepreneur. You are well on your way to becoming successful in every area of your life. My name is Dr. T, and thank you so very much for allowing me to share this message. Thank you.
Wow, Dr. T, thank you. Thank you so much. Um, wow, those 6 attributes. I think I will jump to the last one. All the others are things that we can work. I know I can personally work on, but the self-motivation, that is a tough one. Where can I find a handbook on how to deal with it? Because as easy as it sounds, it's not easy to perform.
Nope, it's not.
How do you go about having that self-motivation 24/7?
What happens, Queen Debbie, you know, you're going to have days when you're going to feel like you want to throw in the towel. Just give up. But that's when you know you have a calling. Because there's something on the inside that tells you, I just want to see tomorrow, because I'm hoping that tomorrow will be a better day. You know the scripture that weeping may endure for the night, but joy comes in the morning? That's that self-motivation. Where you can continue to fight because you know you're here on this earth for a purpose. See, when you know that you have a purpose, that gives you your drive. If you're just one of those persons that's taking up space and you don't really have a real meaning in life, that's when you give up. But a person that knows they want to make an impact, that they're called to do great things, they're going to endure. They're going to motivate themselves to get up in the morning no matter what. Take the shower, wash their face, put their clothes on, whatever they have to do to stay motivated. That's what they're going to do. Call somebody that you know loves you. You say, you know what? I need a pep talk today. I'm not feeling my best. I do it all the time. Hey, tell me something good about me. Yeah, tell me something good. Because right now I'm not feeling too good about me. Tell me something good about me. Seriously. I do it all the time. Ask Tony. I do it all the time. Hey Tony, I need some motivation. Right now I'm just not feeling it. And she needs to remind me, Dr. T, you know, you have to make a difference in this world. You have a calling on your life. I want to share this story with you. Then I'm going to be quiet. When I was sick with cancer, my mother was 75 years old at the time, and she would put her hands together, her beautifully manicured hands. Her nails were always beautifully manicured. She always wore red nail polish. At 7 o'clock in the morning, when I was on my bed of affliction, she would put her little hands together, and she would tell God, Lord, don't take my baby. Don't take my baby. She would say, she has too much to do for you. I'm up here sitting here like I'm dying. I was in so much pain. I was sick. I was so sick. And she was praying, Lord, don't take my baby because she has so much to do for you. That impacted my life. My mother was my biggest fan. So if nothing else, if I don't give it to anybody else, I get up for her. I get up for her. On those days that I feel like I cannot make it, on those days when I want to just throw in the towel, I get up for her because I am not going to disappoint her. I am not going to disappoint God. So that's what drives me. Knowing that I have a calling on my life. And yes, there'll be trials and tribulations, and there'll be times when things are not going to be easy. But I keep going because I know there's somebody in heaven rooting for me. They're rooting for me. And that's why I keep going. Because I know that I'm called. And I know I have a purpose. And no matter what, I'm staying on the trail. I'm not going to give up. No matter what it looks like, I'm not going to give up. And that's the same advice I give to you, Debbie. Don't give up. There's somebody out there who's rooting for you, who needs for you to win and to stay in the game. So that's my advice. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. T. I know it's very emotional. I appreciate it. You stayed on the course. Yes. Your mother was there for you. And the hand that is up there had a mission for you.
Yes.
Your mother asked for it, and your wish was granted in so many ways. Otherwise, we are the beneficiaries of your mother's request. Yeah. And the grantor knows why he granted your request to be here with us. And we want to, I personally would say, I wanted to know that it is a blessing knowing you because we are benefiting from that. And what drove your mom to do what she did, asking for those prayers, is what God had planned. You cannot change what the future holds. You can change your today, and you wake up tomorrow and you change your tomorrow. I'm not going to work today because I'm sick. I'll go to work tomorrow. Those are changes to make on a short-term basis. Yeah. This long-term experience is something that does not have a handbook. You got it, and you're sharing with us. We don't know our tomorrows. We don't know our next, whatever is coming up. But because you have experienced it and you're sharing with us, I personally will forever be grateful because we all have our personal things that we go through, and I'm looking forward to see what is in store from my own share, and you've gone through yours. Thank you so much for sharing your life's triumphs, and what you've gone through is just something that we are revisiting our inner selves. What if I were in Dr. T's situation? What would I have done? And now that I'm able to hear what Dr. T went through and what she was able to accomplish under what she went through, should I stay unmotivated or continue to be motivated based on what she has shared? And my answer will be continue to be motivated if anyone had those questions. Personally, that's what I would do. Thank you so much, Dr. T. I appreciate it very much. Dr. Quintoni, I see your hand is up. I'm sorry if I kept you waiting for so long. Over to you, Quintoni.
No problem. No problem. Excellent presentation as always, Dr. T. And as you were going through 6 of those mindsets, I thought about my own business and, um, Queen Debbie is so right. It's so hard to be motivated, because in publishing, you don't always get the authors that are willing to follow the rules. They always want to change the rules and tell you how to do your business. But been there. But I really appreciate the presentation that you had given, and it really it made me press that much harder and be that much more encouraged to go on. And having the curiosity of a child and um, maintaining a positive attitude and all of that. And so I thank God for the information that He's brought us through you and your obedience to give us that information and your desire as well. So I really appreciate you and thank you.
Wow, Doctor, thank you too very much, Quintoni. Very much appreciated. We know that Dr. T always has an impeccable presentation for us each Tuesday she comes. And our other mindset speakers, they do their share as well. I'm not seeing any hand up. Does anyone have any comment or observation from Dr. T's presentation? Queen JW, welcome. Okay, if I don't see any hand up, I will go ahead and oh, Brother Vital, please proceed.
Oh, yes. Very good presentation, Dr. T, as usual. I've been touching this mindset business for a while, and I've been self-employed. And one thing that drives me, Dr. T, was you got 2 words. You got failure and you got success. And success is going to drive you. Success is going to drive you because you don't want to fail. And so each time you get up in the morning and you tackle your own business, you got to be looking at success. The other thing that drives you is discipline. You got to have that self-discipline. Nobody's gonna teach you. You got to teach yourself how to discipline and make sure that you stay in the game and you look at that one word, success. Because if you're looking at success, you're not going to fail. You're going to be self-driven. You're going to be self-motivated. You're going to be self-reliant. And you have to be the type of person who don't give up easily. Because as soon as you hit a little bump, as soon as you hit a little pothole in the road, and you hit a little flat tire, you don't know how to change the tire and move on, you just give up. And so that mindset is very, very important. And yes, Sister Debbie, that number 6 is one of the most difficult ones that we have to deal with. But it's one of the most important ones to deal with. Because if you are If you're not self-motivated and you're not self-disciplined, you'll never achieve success. Never, ever achieve success. And so it's all in this mind. You have to inculcate that determination in your mind. And every time you look back, I remember when I first got into business, I was in the crossover business. I just those kids were driving me crazy. I used to work with young people. I just came to the determination one day that look, I need to change. I need to make a change. And I got involved in business and I get into sales first. And one thing that drove me was because I didn't want to go back, to work to that other job. And so I put out every effort that I could. 24/7, I was focused. I was mentally focused. I was determined. And it was tough. The first 2 years, I hit a lot of potholes. A lot of potholes. I I felt like just giving up. But I said, look, I'm not going back. I'm looking forward to success. And that's what hold me all these years into it. It's like you get up in the morning and you wanted to go take a walk and you hear that loud voice saying to you, where are you going? Lie down and sleep. And the small voice that speaks to you is a very small voice that we don't often listen to. We listen to the loud voice all the time. And the small voice is the one that is pointing you towards success. And the loud voice is driven by the devil who wants you to be a failure. So we have to listen to our voices that speak to us, and we have to focus on success. And then we're going to get motivated. I thank you very much.
Thank you too, Brother Vital. Very much appreciated. Queen JW, I see your hand is up. Dr. T, did you want to say something? I'm sorry.
No, everything he said, I agree, and I appreciate you. I appreciate you so much, Vital. Thank you so much. Absolutely.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Brother Vital. Thank you once more, Dr. T. Over to you, Queen Tony. Oh, Queen JW.
Yes, I know. Thank you so much, Queen Debbie, and thank you for allowing me to speak on this platform at this very special and moment. Dr. T, you nailed it all the time. I wasn't there for your whole webinar, but I know just from the little bit that I came in on that, how much you care for each and every one of us and how much you want all of us to be successful. And yes, determination plays a major role in when we want something, when we want success, or when we want to fulfill a goal, or when we just want to either finish a course, whatever it may be, determination plays a major role. I remember for myself, determination played a major role in my life when I was starting up, when I didn't have nobody to encourage me. And that's what King Vital is talking about, that self-motivation. Sometimes we have to push ourselves, not only by ourselves, but also leaning on our Heavenly Father to help us to make those moves. When nobody is there to say, you need to do this or get up and do that. You got to be really self-motivated to even start to take the steps that you need. And then you can get an accountability partner, or like Dr. T said, get people that will encourage you and push you. Sometimes it all depends on the people that you surround yourself with too. Because if you surround yourself with positive people that's going somewhere, you're going to want to go somewhere too. And they will help you to get there because they're going somewhere. They're not going to want to leave you behind. Just like our CEO, Ash Mafara. He don't want none of us to be left behind. But if we are left behind, it's because we lack self-esteem or determination. We're just it's just like your immune system when it's deficient in nutrients and so forth, then you will feel like you don't have that to go any further. But the thing is, you got to, whenever you fall down, you got to get back up and keep on pushing. And every day you make that day worth it while. When God blesses us with a day, and I always pray in the morning, let that day be productive. Let that day be filled with joy and peace and harmony. And that day you have to command your day. You gotta command your day. And all will be well, you know. But thank you so much, Dr. T. Thank you, Queen Debbie. Thank you, King Fidel. Thank you to the ambassadors. Y'all are amazing founders or perseverance. We're in it to win it. And let's just stay focused and keep on. Don't give up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Queen JW. Dr. T, were you about to say something? I'll let you proceed and then I will go back.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, JW, like I said before, when you believe you can call, when when it's just like if you look at any of the biblical characters that God used, they had their trials.
Yeah.
But they knew that they were called, and they could not
Amen.
get off that trail. There was no way. You know what I'm saying? They were going to either do it or die. They were going to do it or die.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? So when you know you're called and you know you have a purpose, even if the purpose is not always real clear to you, but you know you have a purpose, that's your driving force right there. That's your driving force. So that makes you stay in the game. So thank you so much, JW. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. T, and thank you once more, Queen JW. All right. I'm going to call on our wonderful beauty sister. I was going to call you Dr. Benny. You probably think I forgot you. I was going to come to you next. But your hand is up. Do your thing. Thank you, sis.
Queen Debbie, thank you. Thank you so much. I thought you were not going to call me, so that's why I raised my hands up. Dr. T, there's something. Anyway, good evening to my brothers and sisters, my queens and kings around the globe. I just want to welcome each and every one. I noticed there's 26 of us, despite the fact that we're supposed to have 1.4 million people on this particular platform to come and listen to the mindset. People do not really understand the importance of mindset. Our CEO has always said that mindset is very important. And I noticed that Dr. Derek carried it on his head to make sure that we, Dr. T, and the rest present this mindset. I want to thank you. But before I say thank you, I want to thank our Heavenly Father for bringing all of us this evening, this morning, and this afternoon. It all depends upon your location. I'm here, but it's evening to me, but it's morning somewhere to other people. So, and I want to thank him for sending someone, an important person to all of us. Like Dr. T said, do or die, right? Yes, because that's what he always said. Either I do or I die. And I want to piggyback on Queen JW, who make me to understand that it is your determination to play the role. Our CEO is very determined, no matter all the challenges that he is facing out there. But he said he's okay. It's okay to face those challenges. You know how sometimes when you go to school, you fail an exam, you fail that exam, then you learn from it, that you made that mistake, right? So you learn from your mistakes. Dr. T, I would say astonishing mindset. You make us to understand about to maintain a positive attitude. Maintaining that positive attitude is for you to practice. Just like I think there was a day when Julie Pierre talked about gratitude, that you have to practice. You take time to focus on the things that is very grateful. Well, I want to thank Mr. Ash Mufare. Mr. Ash Mufare. I hope he's listening to me. Never mind. I want to thank him for what he has done and what he will continue to do. As you guys understand that he's been quiet, although I believe one time he will come to the webinar. You guys notice that we always have webinars, right? And sometimes we used to sit for 8 hours, 7 hours. He would talk. That was that time. But now, he is focused to make you and I happy. It's taking some time when it comes to this data migration. And that is why I gave you guys those steps. The reason I did that was because I want people to understand, and so people should not complain. But I really want to thank Queen Dr. T. Again, there was a time you said you should surround yourself with positive people. This one comes with maintaining a positive attitude. Practice self-care, set realistic goals. That's what you always say, Dr. T. Celebrate small wins. I'm happy. I passed my exam, right? Yeah. When you pass. But guess what, Dr. T? When you pass and you're happy, you know your enemies are angry, right? Oh man, they are pissed. But I will be happy anyway. I don't care what somebody think about me. Dr. T, thank you so much for your mindset. We love you, man. Thank you, Dr. Pindevi, for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Queen Dr. Benny, our one and only First Lady. Sorry. Dr. Derek, you want to say something before I introduce Dr. Benny?
Almost definitely. Almost definitely. Almost definitely. Mercy, 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 mercy. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so very. And those are just 6 out of the 12. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. And just to let you know that you know, there's over 100 people on the YouTube. So it's awesome. We are really appreciative of this mindset. Tonight, it was awesome. Awesome. You see, we take a lot of things for granted, and that is our main problem, our main issue. We take a lot of things for granted. Let us really buckle up, because as I don't know if any of you notice, but some movement is going on unpassive.com, and some movement is going on today on um, the ecosystem. So it's getting there. It's getting there. They were, I guess, they were maybe loading up some things or what have you, because you didn't see the unpassive website. You actually see, you know, when internet connecting, see that circle going around, going around, going around. So migration is in progress. So not to worry, not to worry. Just let us work on our mindset, because that is what is important for us right at this juncture. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. Tunishai Ford. Really appreciate, really appreciate, really appreciate. Thank you.
Thank you too, Dr. Derek, not just for your comment, but for bringing us together every Tuesday and Thursday on this platform and all the other platforms that we share together. We appreciate you. Okay. Wow. That was an outstanding mindset from Dr. T. And we're moving to Dr. B. We have Dr. T, Dr. B, Dr. D, Dr. P. Several of them, right? We were blessed. Very, very blessed. And every Tuesday we know that on Deep Dive, if you have anything regarding cybersecurity, show up on Deep Dive on Tuesdays. Because Dr. Benny, the one and only who is a specialist on cybersecurity, has something very unique to share with us on Tuesdays. But we never know what it's going to be until she starts talking, so please, we know who she is. She does not need any introduction. Her background is in cybersecurity and she has certification in several other areas of information technology. So please just have an open mind, have your pen and paper, and you listen to the best that we have in the house. She's right here with us. Make notes and you can ask her questions at the end of her presentation. Thank you very much, Dr. Benny, for being selfless with your time. Every Tuesday, I think we have so many series that we've presented, and this one, boy, my notepad is here. I'm telling everyone to make notes, but I have my notepad as well. So I'm not going to take too much time. I'm passing it over to you, Dr. B. First lady, the one and only.
Hey, David, thank you. I should say I am honored to be on this platform. I want to thank our King, Dr. Derek, for this amazing opportunity. Queen Debbie, I'm glad you said you don't know what I'll bring the next week. You don't know. Today, we are going to talk about data loss prevention. It is part of cybersecurity, right? It is a very important security measure that will protect sensitive information within an organization. The organization is our own passive, even though it's organizations. So unpassive is one of it.
Jeremy.
And we are going to talk about it. All right, Queen Debbie, I am going to share my screen if you guys don't mind.
Please proceed. Absolutely. You are the best.
Can you see?
Yes, we can. What is data loss prevention? That's where you are?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Yes, it's very clear.
Okay, thank you. Start from here. Data loss prevention, security, essential for business and data protection. So we are.
Do you have it in the presentation mode?
I didn't do that right.
No, you're good. It's just if you do the presentation mode, the where the minus sign is to at the bottom is the anyway. You proceed anyway that you're comfortable.
No, so long as you guys are saying right.
Yes,
okay,
we can
you
see.
show me that, please? Okay, you good? Okay, please, just give me a minute. Okay. All right. So, like I was talking about data loss prevention, it is very important not only to other organizations. When I talk about organization, unpassive is one of them, right? We have to protect our information. We're protecting our information from companies or countries. There are a lot of countries all over the globe that will do anything just to steal our information. When they steal it, they will try to hurt us. And that is why somebody has to be there to protect this data. That's why we do have ethical, certified ethical hackers that our CEO hired some of them. You have the good ones, that they call them the white hat hackers. They will be the one to prevent all the networks within an organization. So data loss prevention is a strategy for detecting and preventing the exfiltration or the data destruction. Now, many of the data loss prevention security solutions, it inspect the network, as I was talking about the network, right? I said that we do have ethical, certified ethical hackers. Some of them, they do monitor the network. They're monitoring because they want to prevent those hackers from hacking into our system. So many data loss prevention security solutions um, within this organization, they will protect the confidential business. The confidential business is private, right? Private business information and personally identifiable information, which will help them now stay compliant with industries and data privacy regulation. So I talked about exfiltration, right? I know people want to say, well, what is that? So what I did was the only thing is to go and search for the definition so that you guys will know. Data exfiltration is when the data moves without company authorization. Like I said, we do have black hat hackers, right? That will steal your information without notice, without authorization. So this is also known as data extraction. Now, this primary goal of data loss prevention is to prevent what? The data exfiltration, which it occurs in a number of different ways. First, we talk about the confidential data, right? That can leave your network via emails or instant message. Now, a user can copy data onto an external hard drive without what? Your authorization, without the authorization of any company, without the authorization of passive, right? An employee. As we all know, I believe the first time there was, I don't know what it was, 3 weeks ago, I talked about we do have when you employ when you employ people like me to any organization, some of us try to understand what the company is all about, all the company data, the history of the company. Then pretty soon we sabotage. Just grab some of the information to go and now have our own business somewhere else. That's what happens. And then turn around to hurt the company. So a user can copy the data into an external hard drive. Now, an employee could also upload the data to a public cloud that is outside of the company's control, right? An external attacker can gain unauthorized access and steal all your data. An employee can also upload that sensitive data into what? And artificial intelligence tools, such as large language model. So I want us to understand the data loss prevention security is the foundation of a robust data protection strategy, extending beyond the basic protection against external threats. And it includes what? The management of how the data is used or being used and shared within OnPassive or any other organization. The data loss prevention systems, they are tailored in order to identify, to monitor, and protect the data in various states. Data at rest, which means what? Store on physical device. Data in motion as it moves through the network boundary and data in use being processed or accessed. Now, the primary role of data loss prevention within the business is to prevent sensitive data from leaving that organization unpassed through a combination of technology solutions and business processes that will help now to dictate the potential data breaches or cyber attacks and proactively to prevent them. Oh, yes, to prevent them. We have to do what it takes, right? So when evaluating the data loss prevention solutions, certain essential features will stand out. Now, this feature goes beyond the traditional scope of data security and what cyber security, which include the aspect of critical, right, for effective data management and protection in a modern business environment. Essential features which considers in the data loss prevention. They are what? I'm going to name few. Data discovery. Now, the process of identifying and locating the sensitive data, you guys know about sensitive data, right? Sensitive data will be what? Your social security number, will be your ID, right? Your bank information. It's very sensitive. So it includes scanning, analyzing, and categorizing the data to understand the nature, to understand the location and level of security. Policy management and compliance. There are a lot of companies that you want their company or information, everything within your organization to be in compliance. How? By creating and managing and enforcing the data protection policy. Policy uh, policies and procedure, like when you attend or you join any company, policy and procedure has to be written, right? For you and I to abide by it. Next, you talk about the ease of integration and deployment. The data loss prevention solution must integrate smoothly existing to the IT infrastructure. You have user-friendly interface and usability. You manage the data loss prevention software. We do have software, right? Our company deals with software, which is SaaS, software as a service, which means pay as you go, right? I will not spend too much time. You have a real-time data monitoring, very important. Monitor and you alert. So the ability to monitor the data movement and access in real time, coupled with what? Immediate alert. So the immediate alert is when you monitor the data and you notice that something is happening, it will alert the company or whoever that is performing the monitoring to go ahead and catch or try to fix that problem immediately. Next thing we talk about, you have to detail the reporting and the comprehensive reporting. There must be a report, right? Comprehensive reporting capabilities are most of the ongoing management. You have the audit, right? Audit trail, compliance reporting. You want to report to find out something that has occurred. You want to report to the management so they will do what it takes now, like to fix that problem. Now we do have data encryption and masking. Well, why not solely a feature of data integration to encrypt your data, right? The reason of you encrypting the data is for you to provide additional layer of security. That is the reason of data encryption. And we have endpoints. The endpoint of a data loss prevention. It focuses on protecting your data at the user endpoint level, including what? What are they protecting? Your laptop, your phone devices, your desktop, Now they monitor to control how confidential data is being used to transfer on these devices, ensuring what sensitive information is not leaked or misused. We have to do that, right? Next, we'll talk about network data loss prevention. Network. Remember, as I told you guys about certified ethical hackers that Mr. Ash Material has hired. They're working on the network solution that will monitor and protect the data that moves across the company network. Now, this solution will analyze the network traffic to detect sensitive data being transmitted inappropriately. You don't want that, right? Whether through the web application, through email, or other means. So it ensures that data transfer within the network are compliant with corporate policy and regulatory standard. We have always talked about email, right? Email, email, email. Email now has a data loss prevention. It's specifically designed to secure what? The data shared via email. Now when the data is being sent, right? To scan the email content and attachment for what? Sensitive information, preventing what? What are you preventing? Unauthorized sharing of accidental, um, unauthorized sharing or accidental leakage. Given that the email is what common vector for data leak, which is very true. You all know that. The solution is very critical, important, right? For all businesses where email is the primary one, communication tool. When you go to work, the first thing that you do anyway, first you need to log, you type in, you log in into your computer, straight you go to the email, just to find out whether your bosses have given you or they have sent you an assignment, or maybe you have a meeting to attend, right? You make sure you check your email. That is what is very important in every organization. Let me talk about this one, which is important, and that's what we're working on at the moment. Cloud data loss prevention. Solution they are being tailored for data stored. The data is being stored. The data is being processed in cloud environment, and they provide like the visibility and it controls over the data in cloud services. You have AWS, right, which is Amazon Web Services. The person, whoever owns it, they are controlling it so that even if you go now to buy your own, like you give all your information now to AWS, they are the one to manage it. So including SaaS, which is software as a service platform, ensuring the data protection in cloud storage and applications. So we have data loss prevention rules in meeting the compliance is very important. When it comes to the National Institute of Standard and Technology, it aids in aligning their guidelines by identifying. You have to identify, you have to monitor, you have to protect what the sensitive information and support the risk management. What I know, we have a risk management framework, which is really a life cycle within the National Institute of Standard and Technology. I believe that a lot of companies they have to utilize this live, like what do I want to say? Like the policies, they have to follow the policies and procedures within this all the companies all over the globe, whether you like it or not. Next, we have a payment industry, right? payment card industry, payment card data security standard. It is very important not only for our own company, but all the businesses handling card, like credit cards. Yes, data loss prevention tools will monitor and protect this data, ensuring the compliance with the payment card industry by preventing unauthorized. We keep talking about unauthorized, right? Because hackers are out there. They will do what it takes to steal your data. And when they steal your data, they are hurting you. When they hurt you, they are also hurting the company. So next, we have, when it comes to the compliance, I will just share a few. There's one we call Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. They call it HIPAA, right? It is a healthcare organization. So the data loss prevention is the key in protecting patients, patients in the hospital, patients in the nursing home, group home, their information from patient health information. Now, it helps to comply with the HIPAA regulation by ensuring what? Confidentiality and the security of patient health information, both electronically and physically. Then you have General Data Protection Regulation. This one is in Europe, right? Perhaps one of the most stringent data protection regulation, the GDPR, it requires a robust data protection measures. Now, when it comes to the data loss prevention within GDPR, the system will help the GDPR compliance by it secure what? It always secure the personal data of EU, right? European citizens. Also, it will protect our own too by providing the mechanism of data breaches, notification, and data subject right management as well. All right, so before I move to the next, we talk about the key steps to take before talking about our data loss prevention vendors. Let's talk about the budget planning. It says it's a realistic budget to determine how you are willing to invest in a data loss prevention. Consider not just the initial cost, but also the ongoing maintenance. When you build a house, right? You have to find a way. How are you going to maintain that house? If you have a business, how are you going to maintain the business? You have to employ, right? How are you going to pay them? We have to work on that. So consider that you have to check the integration on compatibility based on the solution that can integrate seamlessly of your existing IT infrastructure. It also involves decision makers. So who are those making the decision? When it comes to unpassive, our CEO makes the decision, right? They have to ensure he and the rest of those leaders out there, they have to ensure the key decision makers are informed and involved in any process that is happening within the company. You have other people that will do a research potential vendors. List potential vendors. You have to create a list of those data loss prevention vendors based upon your requirement. You look for the vendors within a strong reputation and prevent the track record. Other things you have to set evaluation criteria. You define a clear criteria for evaluating that solution to offer different vendors. There are vendors out there, right? The data loss prevention vendors will equip you with a clear understanding of your needs. What do you need? What does your company need? The well-defined set of objectives and the criteria to effectively evaluate and select the right data loss prevention solution for your organization. So, endpoint protectors will provide a comprehensive, versatile, and user-friendly data loss prevention solution that will meet the diverse needs of your business, whether it's protecting the sensitive data, ensuring what? Compliance. You want things to be compliant, right? Within your organization. There are certain things that you have to do. When it comes to the National Institute of Standard and Technology, the policies and procedures has to be written, and everyone has to abide by it with, within the federal government, state government, the financial institute, and the healthcare, and the rest. We have to abide by those rules. So whether it is protecting the sensitive data or ensuring the compliance or offering the advanced data protection strategy, Endpoint Protector is equipped also to help the business to navigate and to challenge uh, the security. So by integrating the data loss prevention solution, businesses like OnPassive, some of them will address the diverse and often complex requirement of the regulatory framework, from protecting the financial. You know how Dr. John Ajowe always talk about financial stuff, teaching us how we can protect, we can save our money when we get older to take care of ourselves, right? Financial and health information to ensure the privacy of data. Data loss prevention will serve as a versatile tool in within any company when it comes to the compliance. Now, it is the ability to monitor, to protect, to report on sensitive data that will make it an asset to any organization like OnPassive, aiming to navigate the intricate landscape of data protection regulation globally. I want to thank you all, and this is where I got my information from. Thank you all for giving me this opportunity to talk a little bit about data loss prevention. Thank you, Queen Debbie. Thank you, Dr. Derek. Thank you, Dr. Pat. I appreciate each and every one. Thank you.
This is my resound from Connect. I can also do from Dr. Benny. That was awesome. Thank you. I did not know that there was something you could do like what you just presented. Boy, seriously, what we learn on a regular basis is just outstanding. Thank you very much. I already see Queen Tony's hand up. Queen Tony.
Thank you, Queen Debbie.
And I see I'm calling
Queen.
Dr. Derek after Queen Tony. Thank you, Queen Tony. Please proceed.
Okay, Queen Dr. Benny, an excellent presentation. The last presentation you had given us dealt with the procedures and everything, and how important and how careful they have to be in that migration. And this time, how important for us to follow the guidelines and the regulations behind it. And I thank God that you had that information to give us so that we have a thorough understanding from both ends on how this whole thing is going. And so, in having that understanding is helping us to be, well, in my opinion, it's helping me to be more patient and also to be very appreciative that they would take care and confident in knowing that when it's all done and when it's all said and done, it's done right. And so I thank God for you and the research and the information that you took time to give us. So I appreciate you.
Thank you very much, Tony. Dr. Benny, you want to say anything?
Yes, I just want to appreciate Queen Pastor Antoinette. I want to appreciate it because it is very important for us to really protect our information, for any company to protect your data, because we do have hackers out there. We have white hat hackers, we have black hat hackers, and we have gray hat hackers. So the white, as Mr. Ashby Farrell, he hired the white hat hackers so that they can protect our information. Thank you, Queen Antoinette.
Wow, that's awesome. Awesome. Thank you very much, Queen Antoinette, and she loves what you just commented on. Dr. Benny, thank you.
Thank
Dr.
you.
Derek, answer your name, just to comment on Dr. Benny's presentation. And everyone, we appreciate you. If you were so empowered by listening to Dr. Benny, this is the time for you to make comments as Dr. Derek is going to share with us on Dr. Benny's presentation, please. Dr. Derek, over to you, sir, and thank you once.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so very much. Really, 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 really appreciate it. Thank you, First Lady. First Lady. First Lady. Dr. Benny. Wonderful. Thank you very much, dear. Wonderful. Thank you very much, dear. Thank you very much. Awesome, 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 awesome sauce. Says, listen, I had a friend that his mother died, and his mother died like for 2 years or over 2 years. But somebody was still collecting social security on that person name that died over 2 years ago. I'm telling you that, listen, that is how this thing works, you know. Hackers don't play. They don't play. They don't play. All right. How they did that, I don't know. But his mother died over 2 years, and someone was collecting social security. And watch this now. How they found out is that the social security department was calling him, the son, to get back the money from the son. And the son said, what? Mother died over 2 years now. So I don't, you know, we don't collect anything here. Or we do. Actually, actually, she was in a nursing home, right? She was in a nursing home, and so her money went straight there. So whatever happened, and however that happened, somebody must have hacked into the database and from the the nursing home, and just work the show and work the show and work the show and work the show. So let us be careful. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Bernadette in Tinglet. Really appreciate it. Listen, everything we do now is online. Everything. Everything. We order food. The only thing we must not do is eat online. That's the only thing we don't do. Eat and take a shower. Everything else. Everything else. Right? Eat and take a shower. People sleep online, you know. I said people sleep online. So as I said, the only two things that I know that people don't do online is take a shower and eat. So they order food, but they don't eat online. All right. So listen, take this security thing serious. Thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Benny. That was awesome delivery, awesome presentation. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. Really appreciate it. And listen, this is like number 30. So, and that's for this year, right? Because she started last year, actually. Started last year. So almost getting into a year of presentation on cybersecurity. Almost getting into a year now. All right. So listen, go and watch all of those because I tell you it's a lot of information First Lady Queen Dr. Benny has come with coming up to a year now. All right. Thank you all very much. And thank you very much, First Lady Queen Dr. Bernadette in Tinglet. Blessings. Take care.
Thank you. Thank you so much, King Dr. Derek. So those people that were stealing that information, those are the black hat hackers. Are the bad people. They, by stealing it, they were not authorized to steal it. Bad people, no good. Anyway, thank you, King Derek. Thank you so much.
Wow. Thank you, Dr. Derek. Thank you, Dr. Benny. Oh my goodness. Well, we learn every week from you. You know that, and you keep preparing. I'm sure next week there will be something very unique as always. Outstanding. Thank you. Okay, does anyone have a comment or question for Dr. Benny? This is time for questions for Dr. Benny from her presentation, please.
Okay, wrap it up, then.
Any question for Dr. Benny?
Everybody sound like them good.
I'm just going through the chat to see if there was anything there.
I saw something from Queen Rosanna.
Dr. Benny for the excellent presentation and the valuable information you support us with, which we really need to know going forward with our unpassive business. We are in it to win it. And that's from Queen Rosanna. Thank you, Queen Rosanna. Oh, there are a lot of complimentary messages from others as well, including Dr. Patience and JW, as well as Dr. T. Brother Carlton, this is your first lady. You have any comments for her before we move forward? All right, shaking your head, I will take it as though you just absorb it. You appreciate, you don't have any comment for today. Is that my right interpretation? Thank you very much for being with us always. And if there are no questions for Queen Dr. Benny at this stage, we want to thank thank you, Doctor. Thank you to Brother Mamojo for coming as well as always. So at this stage, we're going to call on. There's no one else raising hands, so we're going to thank our wonderful viewers on YouTube and appreciate them for being with us today. and to remind all viewers that we are here on Deep Dive every Tuesday and Thursday. On Wednesdays, we are with Empowering Humanity by Julie Pierre. And Dr. Derek also has One Jamaica on Wednesdays. On Sundays, we have Dream Team. I skipped Thursday with Thursday. We have two things actually, two groups that we get together. In the mornings, we have Malaysia, Singapore, All Passion Group, and then in the evening we have Deep Dive. We hope you join us again, and thank you for joining. We appreciate you, and we look forward to seeing you again. Bye for now. We are moving now to after party